presidents that have, well, reigned in the United States have all been related.
Now, why do you believe that Hollywood was created by the CIA?
First off, you guys do know the Pentagon has a budget for film.
I did not know that.
That's a fact.
Were you part of the Illuminati?
Oh. Yeah.
Something dark is going on with the Shadow Work Journal.
That is literally a demonic witch's grimoire.
Yes, sir. My trigger. Back up in this thing, man. Today, we'll be breaking down some creepy videos that have the entire internet buzzing. Let's get it.
Did the government create Hollywood?
Now, why do you believe that Hollywood was created by the CIA?
First off, you guys do know the Pentagon has a budget for film.
I did not know that.
That's a fact.
Candace Owens isn't lying here. The Pentagon has been making films in Hollywood for over 100 years, which is pretty much the beginning. The first silent film was made in 1910. And Candace tells us why the government's in the movie making business.
Because they're concerned about certain narratives. They get involved with like World War films, like how are we telling a story about history? Usually it's because we're lying about what we did or trying not to make Americans aware of the crimes against humanity that we commit overseas.
And they've made a ton of movies like Transformers, Iron Man, I Am Legend, Black Hawk Down, James Bond, Captain Phillips, just to name a few. It even goes further and says that more than 2,500 films and TV shows have been supervised by the military and Secret Service. But honestly, this doesn't even surprise me because anything that involves the military has to be approved by the Department of Defense, which means that the government has to approve the script before they can even get into production.
If the Department of Defense has to approve the script, then they might as well just cut out the middleman and build a film studio at the Pentagon. It seems like the Denver airport is trying to discredit all the conspiracy theories by trolling, but this looks more like truth hidden in plain sight to me because a reptilian shapeshifter poster seems quite unnecessary to announce new restaurants and bars.
But just think of the power of the combination of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and big data. So it's a combination of the different technologies which really bring the fundamental change. And finally, I think we have to be prepared for a world where we see a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological dimensions. So it will be a world integrating the physical, biological, and the digital dimensions. So it will be a new world. And I'm looking for a minister in 10 years. Probably it will be completely different from what it is now.
I don't know who named Klaus Schwab the leading visionary for the future, but I'm resisting this new world that he's talking about. This is just a cryptic way of saying he wants to turn us all into cyborgs.
Did you know that one of the most famous paintings of Lincoln is actually a composite which places Abe's head on the Southern politician John Calhoun's body? This process of photo manipulation dates back to the 1850s, and it was used to trick people just like we use Photoshop today. And they could do this by adding negatives in a wet collodion process which would allow them to extract and mix multiple negatives together for a final image. This photograph is titled General Grant at City Point. This is a montage or a composite of several images and does not actually show General Ulysses S. Grant at City Point. 3 photos provided different parts of the portrait: the head from Grant at his Cold Harbor, Virginia headquarters, the horse and the man's body from Major General Alexander McDowell McCook, and the background from Confederate prisoners captured in the Battle of Fisher's Hill, Virginia. This photograph is dated 1902.
If this is true, then this makes me question what other photos from this time period have also been altered, and it'll make it difficult to trust any pictures from our history books knowing they pretty much have Photoshop since the advent of the camera itself.
Okay, guys, this isn't normal. This is California. This is not normal. This is supposed to be springtime. This is not normal. I don't care what you say. How? How is this normal? What?
I'm not sure if California is normally supposed to be dry during the spring. If it is, then this rain is most likely compliments of HAARP. I'm just glad it didn't hit the hurricane button this time.
Would you believe me if I told you that it's literally documented that they used to host seances at the White House? The White House is literally haunted. Franklin Pierce was the 14th president of the United States, and after he and his wife lost their son in a train accident, The wife became desperate for answers. That's when she invited the Fox sisters, who were like a family of mediums, to the White House to host a seance so that she can communicate with him again. And that's just the beginning, because it wasn't until the Lincolns moved in that hosting seances actually became a regular occurrence. It's documented that the Lincolns hosted as many as 8 seances while they were in office. And the White House was never the same after this. After Lincoln was it's theorized that his soul got trapped inside the White House. So many people who have stayed at the White House have claimed to have seen Lincoln's ghost that he is officially known as the White House ghost. There's this story about Winston Churchill. So he's staying at the White House one night, and apparently one of his favorite ways to relax at night is to take a bath with a cigar and a glass of wine. So he's taking this bath in one of the White House suites, and he gets out in order to go and get one of his cigars. He goes into the next room to get a match, and to his surprise, he sees President Lincoln leaning on the fireplace mantel. And embarrassed and naked, Churchill goes, "Mr. President, you seem to have caught me at a disadvantage." Lincoln turns around, looks at him, chuckles, and then just disappears.
As a president of any country, I don't know how you would find time to even conduct a seance, let alone 8 of them, bro. The White House was the original haunted mansion. I don't know if I would be more concerned about the creature or having that much water underneath my patio.
This agency is going to create the vast weapon systems of the future. That is what DARPA does. They are always 20 years ahead of anything that you or I know. So any technology that is like, what the was that I just saw and you're not supposed to have seen, that's DARPA.
They were doing Neuralink in the 90s, right?
They are always doing things 20 years before you know about them, because they do what is called blue sky technology.
Blue sky research and technology, yes.
But the point of this, when you say, you know, is DARPA doing the most advanced technology? Maybe, but maybe there's another organization like NRO. I mean, people forget there are at least 17 intelligence agencies.
I would prefer it if DARPA not release any more technology. If they were the original group working on the Neuralink in the 90s, they could have that one back.
Walt Disney was the dark prince of Hollywood. If you closely analyze Disney movies, they're scattered with Masonic symbolism, mind control, indoctrination techniques, and sometimes even sorcery and black magic. Walt Disney was a demolay, which is one of the starting positions in Freemasonry. He even created a club within Disney in which you have to pass several tests and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to join and stay in the club. It's called Club 33. In Freemasonry, the number 33 is one of the most important numbers and a rank granted to the top Masons.
I'm not surprised that he's involved with the occult at all, but it's a weird flex to create a club for grown men on Main Street Disney.
What in the hell do you do for a living?
It could be some sort of octopus or squid egg, but I've never seen one that big where it looks like a baby kraken is about to pop out. I'm swimming back to the boat.
Where does the consistent trope of underground cities of lizard people come from? On January 29, 1934, the Los Angeles Times reported that G. Warren Shufield, a respected engineer and explorer, had found catacombs under Los Angeles. The article was titled "Lizard People's Catacomb City Hunted," and they provided a detailed account of Shufield's findings. According to the article, Shufield was using ground-penetrating radar, a device featured in many of the photos taken of him. With this device, he was able to map out an entire city. The map featured in the article described a massive underground city stretching from the Central Library in downtown Los Angeles through Pasadena and stretching all the way into the mountains. He also claimed that his team had discovered massive stone doors leading to deeper chambers, along with carved hieroglyphs and golden plates. True or not, this story helped fuel the legend of underground cities of lizard people.
If this is true, then the stories about the tunnels underneath the Playboy Mansion make a lot more sense now. Hugh Hefner just had them repurposed.
Beautiful. Oh, come to play. Oh, hello. Oh, beautiful. Sweetie. Look at you. Wow. Whoa, beautiful, beautiful. Hello. Hello. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? Hello, darling. Hello. Look at you guys. Wanting to say hello. Oh, come on. Hey. Beautiful. Hey, look at you, darling.
He's lucky that he happened to stumble across the 2 nicest orca whales in the ocean, because he was a sitting duck on that paddleboard. We seen what they can do to a seal on an iceberg.
We have to achieve the SDGs in 10 years. I'm going to talk about that, but with a quick introduction to the Better Than Cash Alliance. We're hosted by the United Nations, and we are an alliance of governments and companies and international organizations that are each committed, each has to commit before they join the alliance to moving away from cash to some form of digital option. We've got to solve this problem. And we have to solve it because we care about achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Did you know that every single government in the world has committed to these? Every single government to agree to these. The government of Norway, the government of Australia, the government of Ethiopia, the government of Rwanda. And the timeline is 10 years from now.
So every country in the world can agree to move to a cashless society, but not world peace? How does that work?
Hey ChatGPT, can you describe a nice kitchen scene, but make it very casual and breathe and say and things that sound very natural while you're describing?
Sure thing. Picture this. You're in this cozy kitchen, right? The sun's peeking through the curtains, giving that warm glow. You can almost smell the aroma of fresh coffee brewing. There's this gentle hum of the fridge in the background, kind of soothing, you know? And maybe there's a bit of chatter as someone's flipping pancakes on the stove. It's just this laid-back vibe, like time's taking a chill pill. You can almost feel yourself sinking into the comfort of it all.
The fact that his voice is now indistinguishable from a human is actually terrifying, but ChatGPT need its own ASMR channel, because I would be lying if I said that wasn't soothing. I'm ready to take a nap.
Alright, so I'm sitting here playing Rocket League at the moment. Every time I'm here by myself, I swear this place is haunted. I've been f***ing around with Ouija boards, and I was stupid enough to bloody invite demons to possess me and because I didn't believe in it. But ever since then, every time I'm here by myself, I hear outside. So I'm playing Rocket League. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, what the? No way. No way. Hello? Is anybody here?
Like and comment for part 2.
Holy shit, what was that moving? Hello?
Playing with the Ouija board is bad enough, but inviting the demons in is a bold move. This is a self-inflicted haunting.
Right in front of me, we got the Hoot Owl. You guys know what that owl is?
Well, yeah, that's... No.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, we're just walking around and talking. I thought you saw it. We can walk away, though. We're just trying to learn what's going on with the owl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't know?
The locals were immediately on guard.
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I worked there before, yeah.
Worked there? Oh, what did you see?
A lot of things that I cannot talk about.
Actually?
Yeah.
Would you give us, theoretically, what might you have seen if someone were to work there?
I cannot talk about that.
Sign a document?
Nope, but I cannot talk about.
Partake in anything?
Have a wonderful day, sir.
Okay, wow.
Just be careful, okay?
Be careful? Do you think we're dealing with things that are much more powerful than...
I can say.
What did he see?
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
Yeah, I used to work there like 10, 15 years ago. Oh, I don't want to be on camera.
Everyone here knew something about the Grove until they saw my little camera.
It's probably not a good place to be going unless you know what you're doing.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of rich, crazy people up there.
Trying to get in?
My father was in.
Oh, he was in the club?
Yeah.
Who was he?
Mason.
Oh, he was Mason.
39th.
Did you inherit his will? His Freemason will?
I can't disclose that.
Okay. Is there anything we should know?
Probably not.
Whatever they've seen or heard about Bohemian Grove must truly be traumatic, because they wanted no parts of this interview.
Have a wonderful day, sir.
Are you part of the Illuminati?
Oh. Yeah.
Is that really the truth?
No.
I want to believe him, but that was almost worse than Kourtney Kardashian's response when she was asked if she was in the Illuminati.
Are you a part of the Illuminati?
Yes.
No, I'm not.
All the presidents that have, well, reigned in the United States have all been related. As it turns out, both Trump and Hillary Clinton are related to John of Gaunt, a 14th century royal. Gaunt was the first Duke of Lancaster, who was the son of King Edward III. According to MyHeritage, Trump is related through his mother, Mary Ann McLeod, back to his 17th grandfather, John Beaufort, while Clinton is related through her father and the Rodham family back to the 17th great-grandmother, Joan Beaufort. The two candidates are 19th cousins, and so they both have the right bloodlines to continue this lineage. Fascinating that the Bible doesn't speak about the presidents of the world, it speaks about the kings of the world. And it really, over the course of history, hasn't mattered which of the candidates has won, because the candidates have always both been in the same bloodline. Did you know all 44 US presidents have carried European royal bloodlines into office? 34 have been genetic descendants of just one person, Charlemagne, the brutal 8th century king of the Franks. That's a fascinating story, because Charlemagne is, of course, the one who was crowned emperor of the Roman Empire.
Either the world really is just a stage and everything we see is scripted, or Trump and Hillary Clinton just haven't figured out that they're cousins yet, because I don't know two people that hate each other more than those two.
Want to see a messed up building? Just take a look at the Federal Reserve. Created by a group of bankers in 1913 after Jacob Astor mysteriously on the Titanic. It became the central bank of America, where they print money out of thin air and control our monetary system, and lend that same money to the United States on interest. It's also home to the most stolen gold bars, and more connections to the Freemasons than George Washington. No wonder why there's cameras everywhere. And the security detail with more manpower than a small third world country. This really has the power. Facts. Funny how they call it the Federal Reserve, but the bank literally has shareholders. People own this bank, and it owns us. Why is God okay? Why does this building exist? Now I'm about to go inside your building. I'm here for Iraq, Libya's, Hades, and Syria's gold. What?
Which way you going?
He makes a great point about the Federal Reserve and how nothing is truly federal about it, but I hope he's okay, because it looks like he pressed his luck a little too far with those two guards at the end.
Censored, here's the weird stuff I love. Imagine your vision is totally normal, and then one day you see demonic features everywhere on people only, just like this, what you see behind me. Now that's a reality for a man named Victor Shera. He has extremely rare yet terrifying disorder called PMO. And it's commonly known as, or now known because people didn't know about it at first. It's called the demon face syndrome. People with the condition see parts of other people's faces distorted in shape, texture, position, or color. For Shera, that means grotesque, grimace, elongated eyes, and deeply etched scars. Also pointed ears. There are 75 known cases of the disorder.
Out of all of the syndromes you can end up with, this has to be top 3 worst. Maybe the I am telling you lady has this condition, and that's what she saw on the plane last year. Those were nervous laughs, because the last thing I would be able to think about is eating dinner if that was me. I would already be in my life jacket.
Did you know Apple just applied for a patent so that they can retrofit AirPods to read your mind?
Oh.
Or they didn't apply, they filed a patent. So what it is AirPods, they're fitting them with like electromagnetic sensors. And do you guys remember when we talked about they could hook a like brain machine up to a person and they could look at something and they could use AI to generate the picture?
Yeah.
So that technology, rather than a full helmet, they have successfully mapped via sensors in AirPods. They've successfully done the same thing. And so what they said, I was reading in neuroscience.com or something like that. I was reading an article and it said what they're able to do is read that sensor, and they said everybody's electromagnetic pulses are different. And so it's not just an immediate read what you're thinking and then regurgitate it. It's a process of learning. And so they mine and log all of the thoughts, all of the pulses. And so,
are these in the current headphones?
Surely no.
Yeah. They may be testing stuff, who knows?
But they said, the article I found said they did it successfully 5 years ago.
If these are able to sense your brainwaves and decipher your thoughts, then they can probably send you thoughts as well, and they'll probably leave that part out the terms of service.
Ooh, Diddy is done, as both his LA and Miami homes were just raided by Homeland Security in connection to a investigation. Fox 11 has posted video that appears to show several individuals in handcuffs near the property, and a couple of them appear to be Diddy's sons, Justin and King Combs.
30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here, and the home in particular is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters.
They are heavily armed, and they've been very tactful.
Well, law enforcement sources tell TMZ this case is being handled out of the Southern District of New York. Reports say this appears to be tied to allegations, which have been levied against Diddy in recent months from different plaintiffs. A rep for Homeland Security had this to say. Earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available. Ooh, he's going down.
One of P. Diddy's most famous phrases is "can't stop, won't stop," but he probably should have just stopped, because they sent every SWAT team in America for these raids.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh!
Okay, go for it.
There's a handle right here. See?
Yeah, open it up. Okay, keep opening. Oh my god. What the We have never seen this in our house, and we have lived here for 4 years. This has to be some kind of bomb shelter or something.
It's probably a panic room.
Oh my god. I always thought that was freaking weird down at the floor down there, because I was like, why is there a gap in the floor?
Oh.
You thought there'd be another passage?
I thought there'd be stairs.
What the?
That's the panic room door.
It has to be, man. Okay, this is just a...
It looks so nasty, like they were cleaning something.
Oh my god, it's a...
What?
This house is from the 90s. It's this hidden goose room. What the... I can't believe they didn't even tell us. Like, and there's a drain? Oh my god. This is rust on the floor, right?
I sure hope so. I don't know if this is where they...
Should we bring in a cadaver? What the f*** is all this stuff? Should we bring in a cadaver dog? No, they probably had like a safe in here.
It looks like it could have been rust.
Yeah, that's just rust.
Let it be rust, please.
They're very optimistic to think that this is a panic room and the handle is only on the outside of the door, but whatever helps them sleep at night.
Something dark is going on with the Shadow Work Journal.
That is literally a demonic witch's grimoire.
So the reason why the book is called Shadow Work is because it deals with the psychology of handling your shadow self. It comes from this idea called Jungian psychology, where you seek to bring balance and union between the conscious and unconscious parts of your mind. You have a personality that you show the public, and you have a shadow self, which is the part of you that remains hidden. And the purpose is to merge the two. Bring out that hidden part of your personality. But this book is marketed as like therapy and dealing with your inner child. Now on top of that, it's about doing mirror work.
Regular therapy works just fine. This looks like a book they hand out when you first join a cult.
An ancient arrowhead was found made from materials not from Earth. Originally, this thing was found in the 1800s, and it looks like iron that had been rusted, but only recently did scientists take a deeper look. The metal was not from Earth, and they're saying it definitely was from outer space due to its composition. I think it was from a meteorite that fell in what is modern-day Estonia. People gathered the remnants of this meteorite and sold it in pieces. Somehow, due to trade, it ended up in Switzerland because there was a really big trade route between Switzerland and a lot of the Eastern European countries at this time. They think this is where it was made into an arrowhead 3,000 years ago. Because this metal was so rare, they don't think this arrowhead was used for everyday hunting. And they're thinking that it belonged to someone of military status, but there's no way to say. I mean, this was 3,000 years ago. They're even suspecting that it had some sort of spiritual meaning, possibly. Or it could have been just for show. Again, there's no way to say it was 3,000 years ago. But they're doing more analysis to see where it came from. Follow for more tea.
An intergalactic arrowhead is the ancient equivalent of a Star Wars blaster. Whoever made this was ahead of the times. I know the stairs never looked better after this Final Destination elevator experience.
I'm sure by now that many of you guys are familiar with the conspiracy theory that many of the elites and higher-ups in society are not actually human, they're amphibians or reptiles. And this video that I was tagged in is supposed proof of this. Behind me is a higher-up elite in society, the CEO of Pfizer, Albert Bourla. And specifically, people are referencing this very strange behavior that's going on with his neck. You can see that his neck almost moves up and down, very similar to how a bullfrog's would. And this is something that's seen with not just that clip, but this clip as well. You can see he's got movement on his neck. But this is certainly not proof because humans have something known as a larynx, which has muscles that allow it to move up and down. This can happen when people are nervous, this can just be a normal tic that they go through without even thinking about it, or it happens when you're talking. And if you go to the mirror right now, you can also simulate this. So do we have undisputed proof that this guy is a reptile? Absolutely not, in my opinion, but I will admit that this guy does it a lot more often than most people do.
Reptilian or not, he might want to go get checked out for that. I thought he was about to rib it. It's all fun and games now until they end up blinding the pilot and he has to land that plane in the middle of the crowd. That would have been a real grand finale for this festival. But that was the video, guys. Don't forget to sub up, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.